In our last episode, we saw an epic 12th place score, 2003 Spirit of Atlanta. Who is the wheel going to decide on tonight? Find out next on the Marching Arts Network. Welcome back to the Marching Arts Network. I am the Stress Master, and I'm not at 100% right now. My voice is kind of really struggling, so I'm going to try to get through this episode the best that I can. I want to make sure I get out a video before we get to the weekend. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you guys for all your support. We really do appreciate it. And if you have not subscribed, why not? Click that button. Then you get notified when we have cool videos like the one you're watching right now. And if you've missed any of our previous videos, you can go to our YouTube page. And then also make sure you go into the corner here so you can catch the playlist for this series. So thank you guys for joining me. Our first show was 2003 Spirit of Atlanta. A great show. Fantastic drill. My goodness. Someone told me Michael Gaines wrote the drill for it. If I got that correct, I think it was Michael Gaines. Great visual, man. You guys got to see that. So it's a really great show. But let's get to the wheel and let's see what we're going to be watching today. Okay, so we have, let's look at who's on the wheel. So let's start in the 80s. 80s. So we have 86 VK. We have 82 Spirit of Atlanta. 2022 Troopers. 2019 Phantom Regiment. That's going to be Jen's favorite. 2015 Crossman, 2010 Glassman, 2008 Madison Scouts, 2000 Blue Coats, and then 1996 Blue Knights, in 1994 Colts, 1990 Dutch Boys. So we got quite a bit on there. Let's get to it. Here we go. It's 86 VK. Okay. All right, I don't know if I've ever seen that show. I think I've maybe seen bits and pieces of it because I know their 87, their 88 shows are pretty iconic. All right, let's go ahead and remove that off of there. All right, I'm going to get set up, get the video ready to go, and you're going to see it right now. All right, so I pulled up the repertoire just so we can kind of see what music they did, what the show was, and kind of the cores around them. So they did James Bond theme, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Live and Let Die, For Your Eyes Only, and then an ending. So I'm assuming it's some sort of like compilation or something like that. But to put in perspective, Troopers were in 11th place. Phantom Regiment was in 10th place. Skyriders was in 9th place. Wizard of Oz Highlights. Star of Indiana was in 8th place. Madison Spirit of Atlanta was in 6th place. Great show. Suncoast Sound, great. Man, great. What a great year. Cadets in 4th. On the Waterfront, Cavaliers, Santa Clara, and of course Blue Devils with Channel 1 Suite. What a great freaking show that was. One of my favorite years of all time. I'm going to have to really do something for Suncoast Sound. They're such, I mean, we can listen to some of their music and also maybe Glassman or something like that. But anyway, I'm digressing. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull up the show. The flag size was definitely different then. It's much shorter and towards the top of the pole. More modern, it's about halfway to the middle of the pole, so you can spin it a little bit easier. I love the VK uniforms. They're actually marching shoes. They're not marching Converse. Great Hornline and Drumline as always. But I'm assuming they're wearing the shoes because they want to look like, you know, the dressed up James Bond. They always had a great drum line. Always, always. Great horn line, too. Always with the humor. Very funny. One of the bummers are going on back then was the sun is still out, but that's just what it was. Really good drill. Really impressed. Really good mellophone and sopranos. Sorry, I'm really trying not to cough on really good sound. Really good. A lot of really good harmonies in there. You really got to play those in tune. Good job. It's hard to believe this show was almost 40 years ago. 39 years this summer. And I started drum corps 3 years after this. Really great sound, man. I've been interested to see how they scored in horns. I gotta say, visually they're pretty good. But in '86, I mean, there wasn't a lot of running and movement like we have today, so it was a different style. You can definitely see it's a very '80s, like, everybody's hairstyle. '87 and '88, they went with a much like more VK-ish style. I mean, like the beach chairs and snorkels and stuff like that. This is a much more serious core. Now that's more of a traditional style flag right there in terms of length, but more current for today. But now flags are like huge. Always a great drum line. That was a crisp sound. Match strip. Yeah, I like that move. Some good ideas here visually. I'd almost rather watch this show in like high view instead of multi. I do like multi-camera sometimes, but no, the picture-in-picture. Sorry, I'm covering it up actually. There you go, James Bond. Nice. And Cavaliers also did 007. So interesting take on that. Two completely different sides of the coin. Overall, I mean, the visual's pretty darn clean. I mean, the intervals look good. Guard is really good. The core itself is really good. So this is a fantastic year. Old two valves, man, Dags and Kings and like I said earlier, this is a really different, this is a departure for them. You can see why they went back to the comical stuff. Because they're really good with the comical stuff. They're good with this too, but I think it's just more of their wheelhouse. But they do the comical so well. I think their best year is 92. I think that's the most epic show they've ever done. It's so amazing, so funny, and really well played. I mean, they played really well. They beat us like a couple places that year. Yeah, that's definitely the first time I've ever seen that show. All right, well, tell me your guys' thoughts in the comments below. I mean, it was cool. They did a lot of, they sounded really, really good. I thought the first half of the show was a little bit stronger than the second half. I don't think the second half was as impactful for me, but you know, it was a good show. I mean, and like I said, Velvet Knights just, man, they were so dang good. They could play, they could move, and like I said, I think their wheelhouse definitely is the comedy stuff because they do it so well, and they are good on top of being funny, and that's really what the key was. Is you can't just be funny, right? You have to be good. You have to execute. You have to move. You have to play. Like I said, I think 92 is still their best year. So, all right. Well, let's look at the scores here. I'm going to pull those up. Okay, so we're actually going to start. We're going to look at semifinals and just kind of look how it compares to finals. Let me make it just a little bit bigger because it's pretty small. All right. All right, so Velvet Knights. I think this was I don't know if this is the order in which they went on. I don't know, but we're going to ignore that number there. But you can see at Velvet Knights, they were, God, I wish I could keep okay, there we go. So they were 11th in brass. So this is GE. So 11th in GE brass, percussion, visual. So really strong there. In brass itself, they were also 11th and 12th. So they averaged out 11th place, which is really interesting. Oh, and hold on. The troopers were in 12th place, and then they flipped. Interesting. Okay. So Velvet Knights were 12th here in percussion. Yeah, so they got a 17-1. And then visual 8-4 to an 8-6. So 17. So they tied with the troopers. So they actually beat the troopers by half of a point. So and this, once again, that's in semi. So let's look at finals. All right, let me maximize this here. Okay, there we go. A little bit bigger, a little bit better. Make this a wee bit smaller now. Sorry, this is being really weird. What are you doing? Okay. Okay. Oh, it won't let me scroll. Okay. Here we go. So we can see Blue Devils took first place. They got a 98.4. Great score. Great show. But let's look at the Velvet Knights show in comparison to Troopers. So they flipped by 9/10. Wow, that was a big flip there. So it looks like VK got 12th place in GE, 11th place in brass, 11th place in percussion. Troopers actually got 10th place in percussion. Who got 12th? Skyriders did. Okay. Visual, Velvet Knights got 10th. So they got 9 in field, which they were really good, and 12 in ensemble. So I can kind of see that. But look at this. Madison Scouts got 4th in field visual. Wow. Spirit got 3rd. Wow. Garfield got 7th in field visual. Wow, that's crazy. And then you can see the final score was an 82.6 to an 83.5. Wow, so interesting. Very interesting scores. Tell me your guys' thoughts, man. Holy moly. I mean, like I said, it was a really good show. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. The first half better than the second half. But, you know. All right. Well, that's another 12th place score. Another cool show. We went back to the 80s on that one. So the next one, who knows where it's going to end up? We don't know yet. But please make sure that you subscribe. And if you have not done so, visit our YouTube page. We have lots of great things in there. We have over 200 videos on our channel that you can watch. Different playlists, different types of entertainment on there. We have our podcast. We haven't done a podcast in a little while because all of us have had some severe life things happening. But we will get back to the podcasts. And then also make sure you visit our membership section where you can become a member of the channel and help support the channel. And then also our store. Our merchandise store is right there on our page. You can look at different types of shirts and hats and sweatshirts and hoodies that we have to offer. And then you can visit our actual real shop off of there. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Really do appreciate it as always. Please make sure that you go back and watch any videos. Go to the channel. Like I said, there's tons of options for you. All right, well, thank you so much. We'll see you on the next video, which is coming up really, really soon. But until then, you know what to do. You know what to do. Come on. Really? Do I have to say it? Fine. March on.